Right now it's 6 o'clock on Connecticut's news station. It's graduation day in New London. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is at the United States Coast Guard Academy with a preview of the big day.
And there's a new budget for the city of Hartford. How many say that they're bracing for cuts to the city's school system now? What they say could happen.
Also, getting more drivers in the EV lane. What the state is doing to address concerns and expectations of electric vehicles on our state's roads.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
6 o'clock, good Wednesday morning. Thanks for being with us here at Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus America Areas.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning to you. We're starting with the forecast as while this is not a heat wave, given what time of the year it is, that it's still
like
spring, not midsummer. Yeah. Feels like it, Rachel.
Feels like it.
Certainly is nice. We were 1 degree shy of 90 degrees up by the airport yesterday. So could we see our first 90-degree day of the season? Really the warmest air mass that we've had all year. Well, we'll have to see, but we are forecasting just around 91 degrees in Windsor Locks later on. Here's what it looks like in Hartford. Mostly clear. It is a nice and quiet start to our morning. Yesterday we had a lot of clouds and fog. That's just not the case now. 59 degrees in Hartford, winds out of the south around 5 miles per hour. Here's what it looks like in Groton at 54. The wind is calm. It is an overall pleasant start to our morning. 50s and 60s now. It will rise and bring our numbers into the upper 80s near 90 degrees for areas inland under a mostly sunny sky. Areas along the shoreline will be closer to about that 80-degree mark, 70-degree mark closer to southeastern Connecticut. Then as we head through the overnight hours, we'll see our numbers back down into the 60s. Tomorrow we will be tracking the chance for some scattered showers and storms. It won't take the heat away with it, but it may take whatever humidity we do have out there today and tomorrow away with it. We'll have more details on that and time out those showers and storms for you coming up in just a bit. 6:02 on the roads this morning. Symphony, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, and good morning to you, Sunshine. If you are heading out the door in the next couple minutes, let's check out how things are shaping up in Waterbury this morning. Checking out I-84 as folks get up and at it on this Wednesday. You can see the sun kind of peeking out on the side there. Traffic volume not too bad in that part of I-84. Smooth sailing on the east and westbound lanes, as well as Route 8 in that area heading down to Seymour. A quick look at our Hartford drive times. 91, 84, and Route 2 looking good. We have your next update coming up at 6:30.
All right, Tiffany, thanks so much. It's a story that we report on every year, unfortunately. Cities passing budgets and people left disappointed about how much money services and agencies are getting. This year, the city of Hartford is really feeling it.
Yeah, the city council there passed a budget yesterday that has the public school system facing its biggest cuts in nearly 20 years. Fox 61's Angelo Bavaro is live at City Hall to break down what this means for kids in the capital city. Good morning, Angelo.
Tim, Erica, good morning. And what this means is that significant cuts to programs and jobs are likely coming. Close to 400 jobs on the line as the district, Hartford Public Schools, is facing a shortfall of about $31.5 million. Now take a look. This was the scene ahead of that vote yesterday by the city council. Once again, we saw another rally of teachers and parents against this budget, asking the city to close the gap in funding. This shortfall comes even with a recently announced $10.5 million added back to the school budget. Lost positions, those could include social workers, school counselors, paraeducators, and custodians. The district acknowledging that this year's budget process has been challenging because of COVID relief money expiring, stagnant funding, and rising expenses. Mayor Aralampalam says the city is working to find long-term solutions for its schools, while parents are expressing concerns over what these cuts will mean.
Our first and most immediate response was to try to secure that $10.5 million that, from our understanding, would save all the non-voluntary terminations. And our hope is that the school district follows through on that and that we save the in-school jobs with those dollars. The second step we made was a series of changes on the Board of Education, bringing in some board members with financial experience.
Kids are worried. She's worried about like the underclassmen, if there's not going to be like AP classes or honor classes.
And at that press conference yesterday, Mayor Aralampalam defending the city's budget as a whole, saying it passed unanimously, and also highlighting investments in areas like senior centers, lifeguards, and also police and fire cadets. We are live in the capital city this morning. I'm Angelo Bavaro, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Hey, Angelo, thank you. We appreciate the report.
Meantime, at 6:05, Bristol Public Schools has named an interim principal of Ivy Drive School. Math coach Sarah Kulig will lead the elementary school while the Department of Education investigates state testing irregularities. The district placed Principal Emily Gomes on leave when it announced the investigation was going to be happening on Monday. Officials will not provide specifics about those testing issues. And happening this morning, the U.S. Coast Guard Academy in New London is holding their 143rd commencement ceremony, sending newly commissioned officers on to their next steps.
Now, Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is live outside the Academy this morning. Brooke, usually a lot of pomp, a lot of pageantry, sometimes protests too. A lot that goes on. Good morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning to you. If you're somebody that lives in New London, don't be surprised if you, of course, see an uptick in traffic today. But also, if you end up hearing and seeing those military jets flying over, also hearing the cannons going off, it's all part of the Academy's graduation ceremony that's happening today. And once that's all over, they're going to send off at least 200 newly commissioned officers. Now, this year does mark the 143rd commencement ceremony here at the Coast Guard Academy. In recent years, the number of newly commissioned officers is anywhere between 200 to 300 graduates per year. Last year, they even hit a record number of graduates. In the past, these officers have gone on to serve longer commitments in the Coast Guard, attend graduate school, and in some cases, even become NASA astronauts. Today's ceremony begins at 11 o'clock, but before that, they're going to have the traditional raising of the flag, accompanied by cannon fire and trumpets beforehand. The honored speaker this year is Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas. This is the fourth year in a row that he's participated in the Coast Guard graduation, but it's the second year that he's actually been tapped to deliver the address and hand out some of the commissions. So a really, really big day here at the Coast Guard Academy, a big day for those who are graduating. So we'll be following that throughout the next few hours throughout that ceremony. Now, just a reminder, the ceremony itself is closed to the public. This is not something that you can just attend last minute or decide to come into without an invite, but we will have crews inside and they'll be at that ceremony and have more of a report later this evening. Live in New London, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Okay, Brooke, thank you. We appreciate that. And hopefully the big day goes off with no hitches.
And congratulations to all the graduates.
Absolutely, yes. All right, 6:07. Hey, Memorial Day weekend is almost here. And that means state parks and beaches will start filling up quickly. So a little bit of preparation can go a long way towards keeping your beach day stress-free. Primarily, have a backup plan of where to go if the parking lots fill up at your first choice before you get there. And if you're heading out today, good news. According to the state's website, all of the swimming areas at Connecticut state parks and beaches are open. Now, speaking of Memorial Day weekend, there are plenty of parades to check out as well. We have a list of cities and towns participating along with times and locations, all right now on the Fox 61 website and on our news app.
Well, drivers are sharing their thoughts about the future of electric vehicles here in Connecticut. The Department of Transportation is surveying people about their EV experience and expectations. One of the areas under review is the access and affordability of charging stations. The state is looking to invest millions in creating a more accessible network of charging stations.
And it's helping us guide really where the future of EV chargers are located in Connecticut.
Have more active chargers in those small towns, and maybe more than, in the towns where we already have them, even put a couple more there too, because the more, the better.
The state says recent studies are showing some drivers have anxiety about how many miles an EV would be capable of taking them on a single charge. Those drivers say that anxiety prevents them from buying an EV. Now, as a way to promote electric vehicle purchases, state lawmakers attempt to pass stricter emission standards. It failed to gain traction, but as proposed, it would have outlawed the sale of new gas and diesel vehicles starting in 2035. It's unclear if lawmakers will try to pass a similar bill in next year's legislative session.
Now, people in Branford are speaking out after failed attempts to meet with the town's housing authority. The Parkside Village 2 tenant union rallied last night outside the complex, which houses elderly and disabled tenants. They said meetings have been canceled 3 times this year with no explanation any of the times. The union said living conditions at the public housing complex aren't safe. They said they also want some transparency when it comes to the finances and security of the housing units.
Why does this look like this? Why has it fallen into such disrepair?
Right.
That's the question. What's the problem?
Now, the tenant union did say Beacon Properties, which is the property management company contracted by the town, has responded positively to the union and has engaged with them in good faith.
A man accused of violating a protective order is expected to appear in court today. Newington police arresting Michael Elliott on several charges after a big police response yesterday afternoon. Officers were called to the Countryside condos, that's on Webster Court, at about noon. Families in the area sheltered in place for several hours. Officers say they found Michael Jamal Elliott of New Haven inside the home alone, but he refused to leave. Elliott eventually did leave the apartment and was taken into custody around 4:30 in the afternoon.